Hey, this is Mr. Masonette, and in this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to practice finding the surface area of a sphere using 3.14 for pi. Now, the formula that will allow us to find the surface area of a sphere is 4 multiplied by pi times radius to the second power. If you take a look at this part of our formula right here, you probably recognize that that is how you find the area of a single circle. So really, the surface area of a circle is just 4 times the area of one circle. So if you were to take a look at the circle that cuts your sphere in half, if you were to take that thin disk that splits your sphere into 2 hemispheres or 2 parts, the area of that circle times 4 would be how many square units it would take to cover the surface of the shown sphere. All right, let's go ahead and calculate the surface area. So we're going to write 4 times 3.14 times the radius squared, and in this case our radius is 12 centimeters, so we have to raise 12 to the second power. All right, now for the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take 12 and square it, and 12 times 12 is 144, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take 144 and multiply it by 4. Now, multiplying anything by 4 is the same thing as doubling something twice. So I'm going to take 144 and double it, which would be 288. Then we're going to take 288 and double it. But to do that mentally, I'm going to pretend that 288 is 300 because it's so close to 300. 288 is just 12 away from 300. So we're going to double 300, which is 600. But then I have to take that difference of 12 and double that, which is 24, and then go backwards 24 from 600, which would be 576. So I'm going to write 576 multiplied by 3.14. All right, now this is something that I can't do mentally, so I'm going to go off on the side here and multiply those two values together. So we have 576 times 3.14. All right. 4 times 6 is 24. We carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 2 more is 30. Carry the 3. And 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3 more is 23. All right, so we're done with this place value here. So we put a 0 directly below it. And then we do 1 times 576, which is, of course, 576. Now we're done with 2 of our values. So we're going to put 2 zeros here, and then multiply 3 times 6, which is 18. We carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 more is 22. Carry the 2. And 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. Now we just have to add up all these columns to see what our final product is. All right, in this column we have a total of 4, 6, 18, carry the 1. This is a total of 10. This is a total of 8. And we have a 1 at the beginning. And don't forget, because we have a decimal in the problem, we must put 1 in the proper position in our answer, which is right here. Then we're going to move over 3 place values and put our comma. So the surface area of the shown sphere is approximately equal to 1,808 and 64 hundredths square centimeters. Now the reason I put approximately equal to is because whenever using 3.14 for pi, this value is a very, very close approximation, but it is an approximation nonetheless. So whenever you're multiplying anything by something that's an approximation or something that's rounded, the result is going to be something that is an approximation. So I just put this here to be technical. Now, let's try another example. All right, once again, we're going to state our formula, which is 4 multiplied by pi times radius to the second power. All right, so once again, we're going to substitute 3.14 in for pi. But be careful, because the radius in this case is not 16. They actually give us the diameter because we have a letter D here and we have a line going all the way through the center across the sphere. So we have to be mindful in this case. Remember, the radius is simply half the distance of the given diameter. So we must understand that our radius in this case is 8. So we have to take 8 and raise it to the second power. All right, let's take 8 and square that. 8 to the second power is 64. Now we have to multiply 64 times 4, which is 256. And we have to multiply that by 3.14. So I'm going to go off to the side here and set up the multiplication to figure out what the product of these two values is. All right, first we're going to multiply 4 by 256. And that's something that I actually have memorized. The value of that is 1024. Now we're going to put a 0 here and then multiply 1 times 256, which is 256. Okay, we're done with 2 place values now, so we have to put 2 zeros in the third row to start. And now we're going to do 3 times 6, which is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 more is 16. We carry the 1. And 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. All right, let's add these values up. This column is a total of 4. This column is 8. This column right here is 13. This column right here is a total of 10. And this column right here is a total of 8. And our decimal should be placed in this position. So the surface area of this sphere is approximately equal to 803 and 84/100 square centimeters. So finding the surface area of a sphere is actually quite simple. All you really have to do is know the formula to find the area of a single circle, and remember the surface area of a sphere is just 4 times greater than the area of one circle, or 4 times pi r to the second power.
Hey, I just want to say thanks very much for checking out my math video. Please subscribe to my channel so when I upload new math videos, you can become informed as they become available.